Hey Gadget Groupies, getting all prepped and ready to go hit the road. I'm gonna drive out to Las Vegas to cover CES 2018. Things are gonna be a little different this year as a majority of my coverage is actually gonna be produced through Newegg, which is really exciting. I'm gonna have a team of producers and writers and camera techs just all trying to make this look as pretty as they possibly can. But that doesn't mean I don't wanna produce some stuff on my own, especially meeting up with my friends, colleagues, these tech bloggers that I only get to see at trade shows. Because I'm not gonna be producing as many of those really in-depth, hands-on, first look kinds of videos, review style videos, I don't want to have to travel with my full production studio setup. I really want to see if I can pull off videos from the CES show floor only using a phone. Fully embracing the hashtag MOJO lifestyle. I just heard about this MOJO hashtag thing, mobile journalism setup. I posted a question on Twitter, got some great tips and tricks from people, power management issues, lighting issues, things that I was definitely taking a look at, trying to make sure I could still produce high quality videos even though I'm going through a phone camera. But I had a little conflict over what phone I was going to use to try and get all this stuff done. I've got to be able to flip really quickly between shooting video of myself, going hands-on with a product, and so this entire hardware setup actually posed a few challenges that I haven't had to face in the past. Normally, I'm walking around with a tripod and a camera. There are so many great options for run and gun video production, but ultimately, I decided to go with my favorite phone of 2017. It's the LG V30, tasked with producing all of my video for CES 2018. Of course, because it's a glass back phone, it's gonna go in the super rugged case, because of break things. The V30 might not be high on a lot of lists for vloggers and mobile video producers, especially if you shoot a lot from the front camera, because I mean, it's mediocre at best. But the dual rear cameras provide me a flexibility that I'm definitely gonna need when out in the field. First of all, I just don't like shooting from any selfie cameras. I think they're all kind of lame when we've got much better cameras on the back. And that's where the ultra wide really comes in handy. If I'm gonna be shooting blind from a rear camera, I have much better buffer around how I can frame a shot, and with a little bit of practice, you get way better results out of that ultra wide camera than you will from any front facing selfie camera, especially if you want to get a bunch of people in the shot all at the same time. Without having to cut the video, I can flip very quickly from shooting video of me blind using the wide camera, turn it right around, focus up on a product, flip to the main camera, and I'll only have to cut a very ugly transition of shaking the phone. The rest of the footage is all gonna be in one track, one take, and that should hopefully streamline the amount of video clips I'm gonna have to organize. That also means there are gonna be some challenges for how I hold the phone. I thought about going with a gimbal, but a lot of those can be tricky to put down. So if I'm in the middle of a transition, or I just need to move a product around and I need both hands, a gimbal isn't always the best solution. I'm gonna have to deal with a little shake in my handheld shots, but ultimately I decided on going with a GorillaPod. I can very quickly and very easily transition from some sort of torso stabilized shot into something one-hand handheld, or splay out the legs and just set the whole thing down if I want to try and capture close-up product detail. Of course, I came to this decision at the last possible minute to equip to make sure I had all the kit that I was gonna need. So I've got a number of different smartphone mounts and cradles, but none of them were really gonna be robust enough to keep a hold of a fairly large phone in a pretty thick bumper case. I ultimately decided on a little jobby smartphone holder. This one's kind of fun. It's got a slightly thicker a grabby claw-shaped design, and it can easily transition from portrait to landscape mode. That's not gonna be as much of a benefit for me because I think shooting portrait video is the devil, and I'm not gonna do that. But it's a nice bit of kit, and maybe if I decide to try and do some kind of periscope, that could come in handy. I got my handlebars, I got my mount, but one part of the equation I still needed to figure out, and that's lighting. Trade shows are notorious for terrible lighting, and you can get away with some terrible conditions if you've got yourself a decent camera. The larger sensors help soak up more light, you've got more control over your shutter speed, your aperture, you've got a little bit more room to play around. On a phone, no such luck, so I definitely need to have some sort of off phone lighting source, because this tiny little LED is only going to give me a harsh, hard spot. I need something that's going to help fill out just a little bit more of the scene around anything I'm going to shoot, this beautiful face included. Digging through some of my old action camera gear, I found a nice little swivel arm mount that we could use to combine the smartphone cradle with my GorillaPod. I also splurged on a new little lighting toy. I'm going to give a LumaCube a try and see how this holds up out in the field. I'm a little concerned about the battery life. You can't just swap a battery on the fly. You can't pop in some new AA's, but I will have an older, kind of cheaper, this is a Bowers LED lighting panel that I'll have in reserve. So I'll at least have two solutions, but I really want to see if I can get the job done with a LumaCube. And this is gonna be the setup. Nice and easy. I've got two cables that I can feed into a battery pack if I need to charge the lighting or the phone. And I even have the headphone jack free if I need to record audio into some kind of headphones. That was the last part of the equation that I couldn't pick up a good solution for by shopping brick and mortar stores. There are all kinds of cool new lavalier mics, wireless systems that all designed for phones that all plug into that headphone jack. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna be walking around with a gaming headset or even just a nice pair of earbuds. Okay, so proof of concept, I've turned all the lights off in my office with the exception of my really twinkly sparkling lights. And I just plugged in, my MOJOs with a little boom mic extension here just to see how the audio is going to sound. And now I'm gonna flip this whole rig around and check out the hottest new product from the CES 2018 show floor is right here. And oh man, we can totally jump in and get a close-up shot of this and I can focus in on it real tight. And then if I want, I can set this whole tripod down and actually molest this thing with both hands, all without having to stop recording. And then I'm gonna flip back to the wide shot and check this out right here, folks. That was so exciting. I'm crazy here in Vegas and you're gonna wanna check out my next video. Because my V30 is actually going to be the production camera for this channel, I'm not actually gonna be using it as my phone. Nothing's worse than lining up your shot, being halfway through a take and then getting a phone call, shuts everything down. This is gonna be in airplane mode until I absolutely need to upload something. So I'll be popping my SIM card out of this baby, and I think I'm gonna be rocking my BlackBerry. I want something reliable, good communications, and super long battery life, and I'm not gonna have to rely on the camera here because I'll be using this rig. I'm really excited. I've never attempted anything this austere, so I hope you'll check it out. I hope you'll join me for this adventure. And if you have any tips or tricks for how you can produce better coverage out in the field using only phones or other mobile devices, drop me a comment down below. I think there's still a little room if I need to pick up some gear, I can grab it in Vegas. The nice thing about CES is all the companies that I would want to do business with to outfit better kit are going to be there. As always, folks, thanks so much for watching. Be on the lookout for my Newegg coverage. We're gonna have a ton of videos and maybe some live broadcasts coming out of the Newegg channel. And then you'll definitely want to subscribe to this channel to catch my daily vlogs and catch up with my favorite YouTubers. I'm probably gonna be geeking out about some cool gear, so you're gonna want to catch that too. You can follow me around the web at SomeGadgetGuy on Twitter and Instagram and the Facebooks, and I will catch you all on the next video. From Vegas.